Hey YouTube, how's it going? Lawler here as always. The RLCS 2026 season is officially among us. We are officially concluded with the RLCS roster lock for the following season, as that wrapped up the 11th of this month midday. So I figured what better time than any, with the RLCS starting officially on Friday, to go over everything you need to know. I assume you guys have seen the blog post. I'm sure you guys have seen previous videos where I talk about format, this, that, and the other. But what I think is always good is right before the season starts to put out a video letting you guys know everything you should know. Rule changes, format changes, basic dates, stuff to expect, some things that you may not know about, things that if you didn't watch the previous video, shame on you, you're now going to know. So with that in mind, everybody buckle up. We're going to be going one by one, step by step through the entire season of RLCS 2026 and what to expect. As always, if you guys don't know, as always, the easiest thing to do, follow, stay up to date. Links down below, descriptions. Go hit up the socials, like, subscribe. You guys know what it is. So with that being in mind, Rocket League Championship 2026 will begin November 14th. We're starting with North America first. North America, then Europe for alternating regions. The 14th is going to be everybody. Double elimination, massive open qualifier bracket until we find our top 32 over 3 days. Friday, we'll then go down to 192. On Saturday, we'll go down to top 32. Top 32 is going to be Sunday this week. On that Sunday, we will then be doing 2 groups of Swiss. This is the exact same as last season. The exact same as last season is how we're going to be doing online events. Things will change when we get into in-person events. The following weekend, so a week from Friday, we are then going to have our top 16 playing in double elimination. That stuff is all the same. Again, if you guys don't have the Liquipedia pulled up, you can follow those dates, the details and stuff on all of these. It's all been filled out. Shout outs to Liquipedia. So if you guys are trying to follow along, we're here right now. What is unique about this season, in Open 1, we have what is called the kickoff LAN. The kickoff LAN is a little bit different because if you do make top 6 in the first open event, if you're from NA or EU, those are the only 2 regions that are included, EU and NA, you will do one of 2 things. Number 1, you get to go to Copenhagen. You will be competing at the Blast Studios in Copenhagen for a chance to not only A, get a guaranteed spot in the major, B, a chance to play on LAN before anybody else, and then secret option C, you unlock an additional slot at the World Championship and at majors for your region. They took away OCE number 2 seed. OCE 2 is gone. OCE only has 1 team. That being said, they do have the LCQs, which we'll talk about later. That does allow them to earn it back potentially. Statistically, it is in their favor. Your winners from the uppers against both groups, and then your lowers. That's your top 8. What's going to happen is on Saturday, they're going to play this match, and they're going to play this match. Your winners will then advance here. The teams that lose this will still drop down and become your top 6. And then your like 5 versus 8, your 7 or your 6 versus 7 are going to play each other and advance. That gives us our top 6 teams. Then they stop. We will not play these on Sunday. That will not happen. We will go to the kickoff weekend, and they will play them in person. On Friday, December 5th, they will do that in person in Copenhagen. They will fill out the rest of the bracket. They will play those on LAN in person. They'll do the same thing the following day on the 6th for Europe. When we find out our top 4, so when we find out which teams are here and which teams are there also for Europe, they will then play another single elimination tournament. It'll be a single elimination bracket, top 8, but the top seeds have a massive advantage. They get a first round bye. That's a little complicated. I've got a full video breaking that down already. Go check that out if you need more details on that. But the kickoff LAN is essentially a continuation of Open 1 for the top 6 teams from NA and EU. They will pause the tournament from Open 1, fly those teams out to Copenhagen. They'll continue the NA one, try to find the top 4 in NA. They'll continue the EU one, try to find the top 4 in EU. And then they will pair them together. They'll run another single elimination tournament. It's going to be absolutely cutthroat. And the winner of that tournament not only wins and gets a guaranteed spot at the next major, Major 1, but it also unlocks an additional spot for their region moving forward. So you could have 5 teams at majors instead of 4, or NA could have 5 teams instead of 4. It's a pretty big advantage. They're doing this because they took away that seed from OCE number 2. When we get to the first major, it's going to run as you expect. Very, very similarly. Oh, just kidding. They decided to change the format for whatever reason. I don't know why. Instead of doing Swiss double elimination and keeping things consistent, they decided that now top 16 at those events are going to do 4 groups of 4 in a round robin tournament. If you guys don't know round robin, it means every team plays every team. So there will be 3 matches that you see from every team, and the tiebreakers they have already listed. They're going to go match record against tied teams. So head-to-head matters most. Then it is game differential. Then it is overall game differential. So they're going to take how you performed against the other team you're tied against first. Then they're going to do overall. I personally hate that. I think that is wrong. I think if you're doing round robin, it should be how did you perform against all teams, not just the one you're tied with. Because if I beat that team convincingly and I beat that team convincingly, but we played close, I think that's more important. 2 out of the 3 compared to the 1 out of the 3. Just my opinion. I disagree with this tiebreaker. Maybe they change it. We'll have to wait and see. I just know people are going to be upset. The reason why I like Swiss is it is objective. I either won this series or I did not win the series. There is no tiebreaker needed. That's my problem. That being said, majors and World Championship are now using round robin. They're not using Swiss. So the group stage will be, again, 4 groups of 4. The teams in those 4 are all playing each other once. They are also going to give regional bias seeding to make sure that if some of the same regions due to seeding were in the same group, they're going to pull them out of that group. They're going to manipulate it to make sure that there is no same region matches, which I think is great. We get guaranteed international competition that way. Something they've done in the past. For Major 1 only, the top 8, so the top 2 of each group, will advance into the playoffs. Weighted seeds like always. For Major 2, top 12 are going to make it through. So only the bottom teams of each group will get eliminated. And then for the World Championship, because they have the play-ins or double elimination technically from the LCQs. So let's talk about that. We then go to, okay, it's the off-season, the 1v1 tournament's going on, the 2v2 tournament's on, because those are now in the RLCS this season. It's not just 1s and 3s. There's also a 2v2 RLCS going on as well. If you guys want more details on that, you can click the tabs in the Liquipedia. It'll talk about what major they're playing at, all that kind of stuff. But LCQs, this is where we're talking about OC. They lost their spot. You guys aren't familiar with LCQs. After the season is over, if your region performed very well at major events, in-person international competition, you then, if you are one of the top 4 performing regions based upon the averages of your teams, you then get to unlock an additional spot at the World Championship. The benefit for OC is because they're only being judged by one team at international competition, then they have a likely statistical advantage compared to others. Because Saudi did really, really well with Falcons and all that kind of stuff, they automatically unlocked one of the best performing because they're only being compared on one team. So OCE has a decent chance to take that from somebody else. We'll see how it plays out. That even further applies when you have now 5 teams coming from either NA or EU based upon how the kickoff tournament goes. So you'll have 4 teams coming from the LCQs. That'll then pair with the bottom 4 seeds from RLCS throughout standard stuff. This is all same compared to last year. Top 4 advance. That's how we got to see Ninjas and Pajamas play with Nas and Oski and Radosin. We then get into the group stage. Same thing. So online events are the same. The difference, though, is that Major 1 only has 8 teams advance, while the World Championship and Major 2 in Paris have 12 teams advance. Why they went to round robin, I do not know. I don't understand. I think the Swiss is the objectively best format we can have, in my opinion. So kind of confused by that, but it is what it is. Outside of that, a couple things to note, a couple things in mind. Number 1, if you guys did not know, region lock is now a thing. They have made it to where you have to be a permanent resident, have a work visa, or you have to have a school visa in order to compete in a region with a 2/3 rule. So 2/3 of the region has to be local. you can bring in 1 import. A lot of people happy about that. Obviously, you guys know my circumstance. I'm coaching for Kansas City Pioneers. We have Lewis, but then we have Sweaty and To Die For, who are both local. So that is not going to allow, you know, what was Foot anymore. APAC, you can't have Catalysm, Sosa, and Sphinx. You have to bring in somebody local. So they brought in Kevin. So it's changing a lot of things. I think it's good for developing talent in that area. So the region lock is a big one. The other big change is now at majors, you can have a timeout for teams in best of 5s. If you're talking in a high pressure series, things are getting out of hand. That extra 60 seconds can go a long way to reset the mental. Curious on how that'll play. We'll have to track those stats and pay attention to direct on that. As for other rumors, things that I have heard, the rumors right now for LAN locations. LAN 1 was supposed to be in Boston. 2 we know in Paris, the World Championship potentially at Dickies Arena. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. I've heard very positive responses from higher ups at Epic. There's a chance that Major 1 actually goes to Dickies instead. What that means for the World Championship, nobody knows. Those are rumors. None of those are confirmed. None of those should be taken as fact. It's just things I'm hearing, and I said this is everything you need to know. This is everything that you're going to be talking about. Outside of that, a lot of redundancy, a lot of the same. When they're running the kickoff tournaments, when they're running all that stuff is pretty in tandem. The difference, though, is the season is starting a couple months in advance. We started January, February last time. That's not the case. We're starting 2 months. So the entire kind of season shifts up a little bit, and that's because it now allows them to do the 2v2 tournament as well in between that break period. Usually it's like May, June time is when they'll do that. So there's a lot of stuff. I expect the season to be extremely competitive, as always. It should be a good year. So Friday is top, 1,500 signups for NA or whatever, breaking down to 192, down to 32. And then we'll go in as normal for online, except for that little hiccup with the kickoff LAN. It's a lot of information. I know it's a little confusing. If you guys do have additional questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. I've done other videos on this before, just not all at once. If you want to see them kind of more fleshed out, if you want to hear me elaborate on more specific things, the videos are there. Go check them out in the previous history. Either way, that is going to do it for today's video. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. RLCS starting in just a couple days. Hopefully you guys lock in and enjoy. It should be a fun one, but that does it for me. As always, like, subscribe, notifications, check out socials and stuff down below. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.